Good evening, everybody. Welcome to join our European Study Talk tonight. It's a European Study Talk is a series of online sessions for European university and higher education institution to introduce their programs, their school, or any international student opportunity for Taiwanese students. If you're interested in the perfumery, fashion, or cosmetics, you must not miss tonight's session. As our first session would be the ISIPCA, and it's our pleasure to invite Sophie, who is in charge of international affairs and cooperation for the school. So let's welcome her.
Thank you. Greetings from France. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me with you. I'm very pleased to present ISIPCA, the leading graduate school of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Paris, dedicated to higher education in perfumery, cosmetics, and flavors. So we are celebrating our 50th anniversary. We were created in 1970 by Mr. Jean-Jacques Guerlain. Maybe you've heard about the iconic house of Guerlain, located in Paris. We are located in Versailles, Grasse, in the south of France, and Paris. Grasse is the world cradle of perfumery in the south of France. Every year we host about 600 students. We have 27% of international students from over the world, and we welcome 40 international students, 40% of international students in our graduate and postgraduate masters. That means after a bachelor's degree or after a master's degree. We are located in Versailles, not far from the famous Palace of Versailles. Generally, international students like visiting it. And in Grasse, you can have some courses and visit some perfumeries, like Perfumery of Fragonard Museum too. We are French and English taught undergraduate to postgraduate programs dedicated to business or science in perfumery, cosmetics, and food flavors. We are dedicated to fine and consumer perfumery. We are dedicated to white and color products of cosmetics. And we are dedicated to food flavors. So after a bachelor's degree, you can enter a master's degree, like the European Fragrance and Cosmetics Master, which is in partnership with the universities of Versailles, Saint-Quentin in France and Padova in Italy. The first year you study in France, cosmetics and perfumery. The second one, you study business and management in Italy. So it's a double competencies, double experience, and double mobility. We have also, after a bachelor's degree, the MSc Sound Design and Creation, which is in partnership with the American leader, International Flavors and Fragrances, where you can learn about the raw materials, the perfumery knowledge, the fine fragrance formulation, and the consumer fragrance formulation too. After a master's degree, you can enter one of our specialization, MSc in fragrance expertise or cosmetic expertise or food flavor expertise. You learn how about the ingredients, you learn about the formulation, and you apply a lot in laboratories at ISIPCA or in companies. And we have also a 100% online specialized master dedicated to regulatory affairs management of fragrance and cosmetics. It's a partnership with the famous engineering school, EBI, École de Biologie Industrielle. All these programs are addressed students with scientific backgrounds. So you can have studied chemistry, chemical engineering, biology, biochemistry, pharmacy, botany, agri-food, food science, technology. The European Fragrance and Cosmetics Master is open after a bachelor's degree. It helps you to acquire a thorough knowledge of perfume, raw materials, and cosmetics. You will learn the stages of the product development. You will learn how to pilot marketing projects, and you will learn how to achieve competitive intelligence and benchmark. As I told you, the first year is dedicated to all topics about cosmetics and perfumery. The second one is dedicated to marketing management, operations management, and organizational management. The MSc in Design and Creation is a very relevant program. It's a 3-year one. You learn everything about perfumery, fragrances, fine fragrance or customer fragrance formulation. You learn a lot about raw materials, hundreds and hundreds raw materials. You have to learn about them. You have to learn about recognizing them and to use them. Our expertise program, so specialization dedicated to all students with a scientific background who have a great motivation in one of the 3 fields. They will help you to develop your current knowledge of markets, specialized in fragrance or cosmetic or flavors. You will learn about the key players in consumer trends. You will acquire a real expertise in olfaction for fragrances and flavors, gustation for flavors, ingredients, raw materials, and formulation or composition for all of them. You will understand the formulation or composition process. You will learn how to afford safety regulation and execute all the quality processes. And you will develop your know-how in a company thanks to a 6-month internship, work placement, or fixed-term contract. We also provide summer schools and online perfumery courses dedicated to the French art of cosmetics, perfumery, and food flavorings. If you speak French, if you have a good level of French, as B2 to C1, you can enter a degree program in French. For instance, the MSc Création et Développement des produits parfums, cosmétiques ou arômes. That means MSc Creation Development of Products in Perfumery, Cosmetics, and Food Flavors. It's a 2 to 3 years program. And the first year is a full-time one. So it's open to all students from over the world who can speak and understand French. We provide a cutting-edge scientific and professional equipment. We have 14 research laboratories dedicated to formulation and evaluation and sensory analysis. We have also analytical equipment, olfactory oil with free raw materials, and all the professional formulation equipment. It's a great asset for students as they can find their internship or job after their studies. They have the background, scientific background, specialization, and the knowledge of the equipment. Our laboratories are dedicated to fragrance, for instance. We have specific formulation 1 for fine and consumer fragrances. We have a specific laboratory for evaluation analysis. We have some cosmetic laboratories dedicated to the color maker products like the lipstick, the powder, foundation, and so on, and specific laboratory for making white skincare products as a moisturizer, exfoliator, mask, and cleanser and toner. We have specific laboratory for food flavorings with a high-level cutting-edge equipment and a specific sensory analysis laboratories with some cabins with specific lighting, red or green lights, which avoid you to be influenced when you test or you smell the products. Our faculty is composed of 100 practitioners, researchers, alumni, and visiting professors. It's a great asset for students who can share their experience, can learn from them, and they can share their career plan as internship, company, and the countries they choose. They generally have a high-level expertise in sensory, chemical analysis, olfactory formulation and evaluation, and a high-level experience in business B2C or B2B. We develop partnership with Asia and other parts of the world, with universities and professional bodies. We have a lot of partnerships with companies over the world. We generally recruit degree seekers or free movers. We organize some exchange programs, and we want to create a multicultural community. Generally, we have 45 nationalities from different countries. We don't have specific grants. We don't have any specific scholarship program. So we thank Campus France and other organizers of this type of webinar, and we thank Campus France over the world for informing our students about the French and international government programs. My advice is to ask Campus France in your country what kind of program, financing program you can find. We help you to secure internship during your studies and to find your job position after the studies. We have career centers who can help you to find your opportunities and to improve your CV cover letter and to prepare your recruitment interviews. We have an international welcome desk, which is available to help you to prepare administrative tasks before and after coming. We organize some webinars. We have a webinar tomorrow, so you can visit our Facebook, social media, and you can see the invitation for the webinar. We will have other webinars early January, and we will organize an open day in February. If you can come and reach us. Nevertheless, we will have a virtual open day too. If you have any question, you can ask me in the Q&A and answers chat, and you can send me an email. I will be very pleased to answer you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Let's move to the Q&A part.
Yeah.
Could you please probably explain the required candidate background? For example, they are going to study cosmetics or fragrancy. Do they need an academic background in chemistry or any scientific program or diploma before?
For all the scientific programs, we require scientific backgrounds as chemistry, chemical engineering, biology, botany, food science, pharmacy. We have some students from pharmacy. So engineering too. So all scientific background is required to learn about formulating. But for the summer schools, we don't need any background. If you have just a general background, it's okay. You can find a summer school in the French heart of perfumery, cosmetics, and food flavors. We have generally 2 levels, a basic one and advanced one. So you can start even though you didn't study chemistry before, for instance. My best advice is to ask when you're interested in a program. You can send an email to the academic manager or to myself, and you can ask regarding your background if you could apply.
Also, does the scientific program require applicant to have any previous working experience?
If you have a bachelor's degree or master's degree, you can find your program.
So in general, when an applicant is approaching to you and trying to apply any master program with you, what will be the minimum paperwork they should be prepared? For example, their transcripts, their language certificate, and so on.
Yes, in English, we have a C1 level, which is required. You can have an IELTS test. You can have other tests in English. C1 is required because it's very scientific background. I mean, so you need to understand every word, to practice a lot, and you will develop your skills to enter a company, to find your internship or job position after your studies. So it's very important to have a good level of English. We don't require any French level if you apply for an English taught program. Nevertheless, we know that it's very easier for you to find your internship in France, for instance, if you speak French. It's very hard if you don't. So we advise you to have a good level of French if you plan to have your internship in France. The motivation is very important. So on each web page, you can find the application file, you fill in, and you do it very seriously, because the motivation, your background, your level of English, and your career plan is very important. But you don't need to have any experience in this field.
So they should prepare. So what would be the channel for application? Should they apply it direct to the program, or should they like complete it on the website?
So you have the website you have to upload. Generally, you have the file which is studied, and after you have a call, or you have just verbal communication with the jury, just to make your acquaintance, to ask your questions. For IF product program, they ask if you have some attributes in smelling, for instance, but it's not generally. Regarding to the tuition fee for a full-time one-year program, you have about 10,000 euro per year. One of our assets of the MSc program, MSc in expertise, that you have a 6-month course and 6 months internship. So we advise you to find a fixed-term contract. You will be paid.
May we also know what would be the general average cost, like living cost, for a student at ISIPCA? Is there any dormitory? Yeah, please.
It depends. It depends where you want to live. If you want to live in Versailles, to find a housing, it's about 700 euro per month, and we give you some addresses. For instance, we have less expensive supermarkets. We can give you the good addresses. My advice is to check when you come to France, to check all sanitary and health conditions. It's very important. So we can send you specific information on it. It depends on the evolution of the pandemic. But generally, we study in a very good and safe conditions. For instance, so maybe one thing I can add, it's we start online. At the end of September, we start the courses online, including the live induction week. So we created this with the pandemic, and we continue it. And it's a very good scheme. And mid-November, you reach our campus. That gave you some time to get your visa and so on, and to get all information about the evolution. And we can help you to find your housing, to open your bank account and so on. So you have time, and you have to anticipate to get more time to prepare yourself.
So in general, when after the application, how long should the student wait for the result? Or
it depends on the program, because we have some programs which are in partnership with other universities, so it's longer. Right. But my best advice is to tell you that you have to secure your post, because we have a limited intakes for each program. As you see, you have just 600 students, so you are human size. So, very cutting edge training programs. So you have to secure your post very early, because the first who have prepared their applications are the first who will be considered, of course.
Can we assume that it's based on the selection in the school is based on like first come first serve one standard?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So in general, like how many percentage of international students will be accepted each year?
It depends on the program. For the specialization program it's after a master's degree. I would say it's 2/3. For the EFCM or MSc in design, it depends on the profile, in fact. We have 40 to 60 places for the EFCM, European Fragrance and Cosmetics Master. We have about 20 places, 20 seats for the MSc in design, and 20 seats for the other specialized master's degree.
You just mentioned for the scientific program, probably the applicant should have some scientific background.
Yes, scientific backgrounds like
yeah,
chemistry.
I mean, in case they don't have any diploma before, but they attend your summer school or short-term program, does it count as kind of like recognized scientific program?
It doesn't replace any scientific program, but they don't need any scientific program to follow a summer school.
Okay. But I mean, if they take the summer program, and after that, can they take this experience to apply for scientific program?
With a scientific background.
Okay.
We have some students who want to start with a summer school to discover training, to discover perfumery, cosmetics, and so on. But if they want to enter a scientific program, they need to have scientific courses.
Which means
before.
So the summer school program doesn't suit enough.
No.
And what about the career path of the graduated student? Usually,
they are experts in formulation or evaluation. Composition, formulation, and evaluation. It's not because you will follow a course in perfumery that you will become a great nose, because it takes time, it takes years and many experiences. But you can find opportunities, relevant opportunities over the world. We have many partnerships with companies, large and small one. We have many opportunities to provide you over the world. And you can start your own company, because we have some entrepreneurs too.
Which means like when they are doing their internship, they might choose to go back to their own country, or they can go to other country.
It depends. You can find in Europe, you can find in France. If you have a good level of French, you can go back to your company, because it depends on your career plan. In fact, if you want to go back after in your company, you can highlight an experience abroad, which can be a great asset, or you can start in the company you would like to enter after your studies as intern.
Another frequently asked question is there any age limitation to be accepted?
No age limitation. We have no age limitation. We have some people specialized, for instance, in our specialization programs after the master's degree. We have many people who have worked, and after they want to go back to school to learn and to apply. And as it's a one-year program, we have 6 months course and 6 months experience in a company. So it's a very good introduction to renew, to relaunch our career.
So what about the program structure? You just mentioned like some of them might require to do 6 months of courses and then followed by a 6 months internship. So for the courses semester, would it be like would they be the full-time student, or they might have a chance to take some part-time job, or they can have some internship ongoing at the same time?
Generally, we have some demands from part-time jobs. We can say, because it's very hard. The programs at ISIPCA are generally very intensive. So my best advice is to focus on your program, to study a lot. You have many raw materials to know. That means you have a self-training to achieve. It's very important. You can learn at school and you can practice at home too, because the most you will know, the most you will be expert in your area. Whatever, we have no course in the weekend, so you can find a job in the weekend, for instance. If you want to send me the list of attendees, we can invite them to next webinars with the academic managers and students and some alumni, and they can share their experience and ask all the questions they have before achieving their application. You're welcome, thank you. So please browse all the programs on the web pages of our website and explore the application folders. You can post your questions to the academic managers or to my email address. If you have any administrative questions, don't hesitate. If you want to have more information on one or two programs, don't hesitate to ask. We will be very pleased to answer you and welcome you to ISIPCA. Thank you to you, Chad, for your help and the preparation and this high-level webinar.
All right, yeah, that's all we have for tonight's questions. As Sophie just mentioned, there on the screen you can see Sophie's email. Also, if you are interested in any specific program, definitely you can write to the program contact person, either to consult whether you are qualified if you're not sure, or you might need any assistance after you are accepted. And thank you, Sophie, for coming today at your time zone, and introduces what the ISIPCA have for our international students.
Thank you a lot for your invitation. Very appreciated.
Yeah, we hope to see you next time.
Yes, with a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye.